Okay, guys, really good effort this year. Really proud of what we did. But anyway, season's done now, so K-Mag, go away, get some sun or some snow or whatever you Danes do in the off-season. And Logan, I really want you to take up DJing, mate. Yeah. Why? Get those spinning tracks out of your system, mate. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. It is the off-season special today as we prepare for our third season in charge. It's going to be Sargent and Magnussen again as our drivers next year, so we'll try and obviously build them up over the off-season. But there's a little bit of end of current season stuff to catch you up on. First of all, there we can see a mid-season victory. The board are very happy with that, which is excellent. The season results as a little bit of a recap. Verstappen, Perez, Magnussen in the top three of the drivers. Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. We, of course, came fourth in the constructors, and if we go all the way down to have a little bit look how everybody else got on, you can see there how it is. And Sargent, I think the goal for Sargent next year, he's got to be at the front of this. He's got to be 8th, basically. If it's sort of like it was this year with Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes as the three teams that are up there with us, he needs to be finishing 8th. He cannot afford to be any lower than that. We need him to be able to go and actually compete with Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. Williams were the unfortunate team to end up with nothing this year. Stroll, Tsunoda, and Mick Schumacher were the drivers not to score a point. So we'll see, obviously, this episode, what happens with driver changes. There will be almost certainly driver changes. Now, we have got our factory upgrade complete, which means we can now have four projects going at once, which is good. That'll help us keep up the development race with the bigger teams. We also get things coming through quicker. So that is all very important stuff. Now, in terms of drivers, we don't have any development points right now. What we're going to do, I think, is wait till the end of this episode, and then we'll assign all the points together at once. So it'll be a little bit of a click and play sort of episode. So let's click and see what happens. All right, so a bit of an update here. Our drivers, we know they're all in place until the end of next season, at which point we're expecting Magnussen to move over for Crawford to come through. So that's all well and good. Staff changes, though. We know that we need a race engineer for the second car, which is, of course, Magnussen's car. Now, if we go and have a look at staff scouting, I have had my eyes on the man I think I want to come in, and it is this guy, Ben Mitchell. Now, if we look here, the guys from Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull are not interested. This is the next best guy. He has, if we go and have a look at his performance, 90 pit crew management. That's going to be fast pit stops. He's the man we want. I don't think there's any doubts about that. So if we can go and propose a contract to him, and let's hope that he's willing to come and be our race engineer. So I don't really know how much he's going to want. So we'll try this and see what happens. I want him to sign for us. I cannot stress that enough, mate. I want you, and we've got him. There we go. So we've got a new race engineer. It's a big upgrade on Ed Reagan. We thank him for his service, but Ben Mitchell will now be the race engineer on the second car. So he will be with K-Mag this season. So that is very exciting stuff indeed. So that is our technical staff moving forward. Looks like we've got a development point here on our head of aero. We won't wait on that because it might come into use actually developing the new car. So we'll obviously assign staff attributes as soon as we get them. So that's all very exciting. Again, we click and play. So our end of season board review. We wanted to finish 6th. We got 4th, so we've done well there. Score a podium in 25% of the races. We did that, so that's all very good. Now, I don't actually think we were supposed 2024 is when we were supposed to do that, and I don't think, are we into the second season? 2023 is the season that we're in. We had a constructors 4th, Magnussen 3rd. That is obviously I'm going to say our best for both. I don't think a Haas driver's ever come 3rd in the drivers' championship before. And if we go and have a look here. Team rating is 2 and a bit. Team bonus is 1.5. I don't know what that means. And board confidence is high, which is nice. Now, if we go and have a look here at some more information here, pit crew performance, we'll be able to fix that for the new season. It's horrible, isn't it? But we have had our staff hub upgraded as well, so that is going to help a little bit again. Weekly experience gain. almost doubles, which is huge. Morale goes up, team attractiveness goes up as well, and the effectiveness of that will go up as well. Regulation changes. Now there was, I don't know if I mentioned this at the time, there was a change to the prize money. I don't agree with this. Top teams getting more money, but it happened, so we get more than we otherwise would have. And unfortunately for the rest of the teams, it goes down, and Williams at the bottom stays the same. And there was, of course, the change for the last double points last race, which I absolutely hate. And the technical regulations, hopefully we've done enough to be able to see those off as well ahead of the new year. So that is that's that. Hi, Mr. Haas. It's Aussie Villain. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, well, actually, I did want to take advantage of some of that high confidence by requesting an upgrade to the wind tunnel. 17 million. No, I don't think it will stop Logan from spinning. You're right, it can't hurt to try. All right, now we currently have $24 million burning a hole in my pocket here, so we're going to upgrade the wind tunnel 98 days, so it should be ready just after the new season starts, and that'll help us again just with developing the car with airflow and whatnot. So we've done that. I got my eye on upgrading the factory again, a cost of 14. It's upgrading these things that are going to make the difference between us, how long it takes us to be able to go and compete with the top team. So as soon as we have the money to do so, the plan is to go and just make sure we're continually upgrading things here. Operationally, everything is more or less where we want it, and staff facilities, I'm wondering, do we have money to do the team hub again? If it helps the staff, morale, weekly experience gain, that can only be a good thing as well. So let's almost send ourselves into bankruptcy, and hopefully we're going to spend money to make it, don't you? So more good news, our design center upgrade is complete. Still can only have the 10 engineers, but a 3 project capacity. Now where I think this is going to be useful is, I mean, ideally we want more engineers though, don't we? But we can have sort of 2 proper research things going, and then have a little side one where we're not actually using development time. So yeah, I do think that could be a good one. But if we were to get another upgrade, I think that is when we start getting more engineers. So then we can have 3 projects all going with 5 engineers each. So yeah, that'll probably be the next thing we look to do. But we've sort of spent all our money for now. So hopefully we get this FIA prize money soon. So welcome to the new season. Time to review the year's regulations, manage this season's engine, and negotiate new obligations with our sponsors, which I will not be doing because that just sounds terribly boring. Of course, that's the first thing. All right, let me have a look here. You know what, I'm just going to say that looks good because it looks like a boring thing to do. So there we go. We will get 100 million in sponsorship this year, which does sound like a very nice amount, doesn't it? And 18 million up front as well, which will be a nice little boost to the coffers. 6 above, again, podium contender, and 25% of races podium. So assuming that's going to be 6 podiums again, which K-Mag should be able to do, let's hope. The balance is sponsor funding, so we've got a total of 26 million in the bank. Is that how I'm reading that? The cap is 136 million, so we're absolutely fine. We've never come anywhere near that, to be honest, so that should be fine. Technical regulations. Now, there were changes here. So the research, let's see. So we've lost a little bit of engine cooling. We've lost a lot of middle airflow there. The front wing. So we've lost out again. Now, of course, it's going to depend on what other teams have lost out on. We've gained a little bit here, but again, we're going to lose out on that airflow sensitivity. The side pods, we might need to work on the side pods. The underfloor, now we spent a lot of time on the underfloor, and, well, we've still lost out a little bit, but hopefully much less than other teams. And the suspension, well, we've lost out again there, haven't we? The airflow seems to be the big thing that's being cracked down on, doesn't it? Financially, cap, and we can see there, season prize money. So is that going... No, it's going up for this coming year. Okay, I see. And the sporting regulations, double points. I hate that so much. But everything else there is more or less the same. CFD testing. So we're going to have even less time, I think, aren't we, than we had last... Oh, no, because we came 5th the year before. So we've actually got the same. And wind tunnel time between 4th. So we're going to have less wind tunnel time, but the same amount of CFD testing. Don't know 100% what that is, but it sounds interesting, doesn't it? Powertrain. Okay, now, there was a good comment that I actually, in the end, I think liked, is just go for the fastest engine, the most powerful engine, and that appears to be the Red Bull. Everything else, it obviously is less than that. So They're a little bit more expensive than Renault, but Renault looks a little bit rubbish for the most part. So yeah, I think we do just stick with Red Bull. They've got the most power, so it makes sense to do that. I don't know if this is if this changes or if it's more or less the same. You would imagine it would change, but Red Bull still do look the way to go, don't they? So there we go. That is done. There'll be a $15 million payment to them, which no doubt takes a chunk out of our budget. And here we are. Welcome to the new season. Board confidence high. We've got a few emails here as well. The car report. Let's have a look. So this is 2023 performance, 2024 performance. So we've lost a little bit on high speed, dirty air. Engine cooling is down a little bit. It was the airflow, wasn't it, that was the big loss. So I guess we'll kind of see how that goes compared to the rest of the season. Okay, here's the interesting thing now, the roster update. It's Verstappen and Perez at Red Bull, so no change there. No change at Ferrari. Mercedes is Bottas and Russell, so Hamilton is gone. We know we've got the same. De Vries is their backup driver. Alpine and Alfa Romeo. So Alpine still have Alonso and Ocon. Alfa Romeo have Albon and Gasly. Obviously, Bottas has left to go back to Mercedes, but it looks like Guan Yu Zhou... No, he'd already left. Who was at Alpha last year, I wonder? McLaren has Ricciardo and Norris. AlphaTauri has gone back to Tsunoda. So Vettel and Tsunoda, because they had Albon last year, didn't they? Who's gone off somewhere else. So we can see that. And Aston Martin have the same too. And Lewis Hamilton has gone to Williams. I don't think any of us would have predicted that in a long, long time. 0-point scoring Williams have gone and taken Lewis Hamilton. I'm fascinated to see how that plays out. That's a shocker, isn't it? Anyway, so we've got our allocation time here, and the new period starts today. So car development is now open. So we will go and start working on things here. Now, it was side pods that were... we took a bit of a hit on, wasn't it? All right, let me think here. So if we look at our rank on the grid, it's top speed, acceleration. We just have a bit of a draggy car. Engine cooling and brake cooling as well are the issues. So I do wonder if perhaps we just want to work on those things. If we work on our biggest weakness, then hopefully it will not become a strength, but less of a weakness perhaps. So we'll do that, and the wind tunnel hours, it's going to be, what, 34? That halfway, yeah. So it doesn't do too much to change too much, unfortunately, but it helps us a little bit, which can only be a good thing. I wonder if we'll just do balance, because we're not good in any of these areas, are we? The side pod apparently is just a big weakness for us. And I wonder if I'm guilty here of just having that as a little bit of a blind spot. And... maybe it's just hurting us. So we will also go and design... I mean, do we do suspension while we're here? I'm not... Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of not doing other parts of the car, but maybe this is what we need, and maybe it's going to make us that little bit better. So we'll do that, and hopefully we will see a benefit of that when the season starts. Testing is still a little ways away yet, of course. And, yeah, I cannot believe Hamilton's gone to Williams. All right, let's keep going. This is fascinating. Okay, so the design of our new suspension is now complete. So we will go and manufacture that. We probably want 4 of them. Yeah, so we'll do that and get those on the car sooner rather than later. Now, do we go and develop a little bit more here? If we go to car development, new project, design... if we were to say go and do, let's say, an underfloor for argument's sake, it's 45 days till the next thing comes, so we might as well have, it is going to improve things a little bit, obviously not as much, but we've got engineers, we might as well use them, and so it was 45 days, wasn't it? So it's going to take us a little bit over, but I think I'd rather waste 9 days at the end, or have 9 days overlap, than 40 odd days doing nothing. So let's do that. All right, on we go. Okay, so the new side pods have now been designed. So again, we will go and manufacture those. We'll probably want 4, 1 for each car and then a backup. So we'll get those on. Now we are maybe getting to the point where it's not worth a new project. If we go to design, if we were to say go to chassis, it's going to, we're 34 days away, and it's going to take how many days to do this? 30. Okay, perfect. So we'll go and do that. And yeah, well, we can already see, I think, things feel like they're happening a little bit quicker in terms of car development for us. So that's huge. All right, we'll continue on. Okay, so the new suspension has now been manufactured. So we'll go and stick it on the car, and let's have a look and see. So if we go to show rank on the grid, which is a little bit easier to understand, I think. So it's going to move us. I mean, I don't know quite how we know this yet because there hasn't been any testing, but it's going to move us up the grid. So it's silly not to do it, obviously, especially having spent money on developing it. So that's obviously a good thing, isn't it? We have already improved this year's car. All right, our team hub upgrade has been completed. So weekly experience gain for staff members is going to be better. So yeah, that's all obviously good things for us to have. We've got 8.5 million in the bank. We're not quite ready for another upgrade yet. There are we. All right, the new chassis has been designed, so we will go and manufacture that now. We probably need 4 of those as well. And yeah, hopefully we'll get those. We're 23 days away from the first race, so we will have enough. Let's maybe just rush it to make sure we have enough. All right, so we have some testing results. Let's have a look and see how the preseason test went. And what does all this say? So we are not great in terms of top speed. We're really good in the corners, which is where we have always been. Dirty air cornering, we're good. Brake cooling, and yeah, I mean, how can we be bad at going straight? I don't quite understand that. Simone Resta has got some development points. I haven't actually been checking this as we go here. So we'll stick that on to chassis and rear wing, I suppose. The rear wing is probably where we're going to have to look to develop next, isn't it, to try and get some speed down the straights. I don't understand how you can be bad at going straight. But here we are. Side pods have been manufactured. Have we put those on the car yet? I don't think we have we? So let's have a look again. Show rank on the grid, so it's a little bit easier to understand. So this is going to make us a gods at dirty air. We're going to be the best at in dirty air around corners. It's going to help our top speed. So that's good. Brake cooling, and that is still absolutely rubbish. So we're going to have to work on that, I think, as well. But we're getting there, aren't we? We are getting there. The car's moving forward already. Okay, so our new development time starts today. So that means we can go and start designing stuff with wind tunnels and whatnot. We can only do one thing, though, can't we? Because we've got engineers currently on the underfloor, but I did know that was going to happen. Is it brake cooling? Engine cooling? What does the chassis? Engine cooling? We are currently working on that, though, I think, aren't we? Hang on a second. Let's go back to, if we go to part development, and we are currently building a chassis that should help fix that. So actually, we should have 1 or 2 we can go and stick on and just see where, yeah, so we do have 1 or 2. So show rank on grid, and it's not really changing anything, is it? I'm really worried. Basically, it means our engine cooling is the worst and brake cooling is second worst because there's obviously 20 cars on the grid. So we need to go, and that's what we need to fix. Okay, so car development and new project design and engine cooling. It can be side pods. So I guess we go again on that. So if we just stick everything on here, is it going to help the engine cooling? No. Okay. What if we do this and this? We have 34 is halfway. And then what if we design it for engine cooling? It's still going to improve the other things, but if that's what it focuses on, and then that starts to move us up the grid on that front. So I think we have to do that because we can't have the worst car on the grid on any aspect of the car because it's all, it's all part of the same being, isn't it? Okay, so this is the big one. The wind tunnel upgrade is now complete, so that is going to help us. I mean, downforce is already what we're good at, so we're only going to get better at it, I suppose. But we have more testing results, and let's go now and see where we rank on the grid here. So we are first in dirty air cornering, low and medium speed. Third, which is the second best car, basically, in high speed. it's still, I mean, top speed is better, ninth. That's, what's that, probably the 5th best car. And it's still this brake cooling and engine cooling are what's worrying me. But there we go. We're working on it. Hopefully that'll come through. We're 3 days away, though, from the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we have had 2 parts manufactured. The chassis, which I think we've already stuck on the car, haven't we? So that's done. The underfloor design is complete. Now, it's not going to be revolutionary. We know that, but it is still going to be a little bit of an upgrade. So we'll just build 4 of them for now. We're not going to be able to get them in time for the next race. I wonder if we rush them, though, so we get them as soon as possible. It's $1 million, but it's probably worth it. And that is just about going to be us then in terms of this episode. We're 2 days away from the start of the race. And we are now at the, it's free practice day of the Grand Prix. Now, let's have a look at how our drivers developed over the winter. Sargent, not great, if we're honest. Let's stick 2 points into cornering for him. That gets, actually, no, let's do control as well. We'll try and get both of those up to 80, and then we'll reassess from there, I think. If we go back, Kevin Magnussen has 1 development point, which we will stick into control, I think, or cornering. We'll go to control, get that going. And Crawford has been developing like a maniac. Look at that, 6 development points. So I think we'll go 1 in each of these categories. And he goes and becomes a 65 rated driver now. So very well done to you, Jack Crawford. But yeah, that actually, wait, no, staff. Race engineers have both got development points. So I think we continue to stick this into pit crew management for Jego there. And the new man, Ben Mitchell, again, I think just pit crew management. They've already got a good affinity, which is good. He becomes an 86 rated race engineer now. He could be very, very good for us, couldn't he? Let's hope so anyway. But guys, that is that. If you've enjoyed our off-season special, make sure you hit thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you're new. Bahrain is where the season starts. We will see Lewis Hamilton in a Williams. I still can't believe that. And hopefully we're going to get ourselves off to a very good start here. Last year it was a decent race for us. Hopefully this year will be the same thing. Take care.